Hello and welcome to the 5th video in a Freshservice series on IT Operations Management, or ITOM for short. This time we're looking at whether ITOM and IT Service Management, ITSM for short, are competing or complementary IT management capabilities. In many ways, this comparison is subject to the same issue outlined in ITOM video number 1, that ITOM is defined differently by different parties. I'll quickly recap this while discussing how ITOM and ITSM are positioned relative to each other. If you watched the first ITOM video, hopefully you'll remember I defined ITOM software but didn't define ITOM per se. So this time I'm sharing an ITOM definition pulled from the internet, that ITOM is the administrative area involving technology infrastructure components and the requirements of individual applications, services, storage, networking and connectivity elements within an organization. While ITIL 4, given its new broader business focus, defines service management rather than IT service management as a set of specialised organisational capabilities for enabling value for customers in the form of services. These two definitions allow me to repeat what I said in video number 1, that ITSM is focused on the services consumed by end users, while ITOM is focused on the IT infrastructure and its components. But what about how they're positioned relative to each other? These two definitions highlight that ITOM and ITSM are different disciplines, and as such, it's not an either-or situation. However, coming back to the various ITOM definitions available, it can be challenging to decide whether ITSM is a subset of ITOM, ITOM is a subset of ITSM, especially with ITIL 4's broader coverage, or if they sit alongside each other with a high degree of overlap. This blurring between ITOM and ITSM became more complicated with ITIL 4 because it used a much broader canvas. Some ITSM pros might now consider that the new body of service management and ITSM best practice governance houses ITOM too. The key for me here is to recognise that ITOM and ITSM are complementary disciplines, and ultimately it's up to your organisation how they want and need them to work together. Just think about it. Now, while ITIL 4 offers 34 management practices, I bet your organisation hasn't adopted more than half of them. You still use ITIL and do ITSM, and the same flexibility applies when thinking about how ITOM and ITSM positioned. If you want to call it all ITOM, fine. If you want to call it all ITSM, fine. And if you want to view configuration management as an ITOM practice rather than an ITSM capability, it's also fine. Just do what serves your organisation best. When enabling ITOM and ITSM through technology, the first thing to note is that both ITOM and ITSM have discrete tool sets. However, some ITOM tools also offer basic ITSM capabilities such as ticketing, and ITSM tools are increasingly adding ITOM capabilities, especially with AI enablement. The latter of these makes it easier for organisations to add ITOM capabilities without the expense of a completely new tool. As they see the benefit, they can either grow with the ITSM tool as more ITOM capabilities are added, or invest in a separate ITOM toolset. Whatever your tooling decision, it's important to recognise that both capability sets are valuable to IT service delivery and support because the two disciplines complement each other. Let's use change management or change enablement as an example. Initiating a request for change and its approval are ITSM capabilities, but understanding how the change impacts IT services in real time is where ITOM comes into the picture. ITOM data can also provide capacity-based insights that help ITSM teams remedy problems, or ITOM's machine learning and automation can predictably scale the infrastructure for a service as needed to ensure corporate availability needs are met. These simple examples only skim the surface of how ITOM and ITSM work together to benefit organisations. And it isn't easy to see how ITSM capabilities can work effectively without the support of ITOM. That's it for this video on ITOM versus ITSM plus the Freshservice ITOM series. To be alerted to more Freshservice, ITSM and ITOM content when it's created, please subscribe to the Freshservice YouTube channel. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Thank you.